Anita Yardena Rohekar is a teacher of German, English, and communication since the last 35 years. She is presently teaching German at Loyola Junior College, Pune, and is a visiting faculty at Symbiosis College of Liberal Arts. Miss Rohekar had been to Germany on scholarship for 13 times. Unfortunately, they cannot join us this now as speakers for the webinar. Hence, we shall listen to their recorded speech on the role of Judaism.
Let
Flag
us now
represents our
talk about
beloved nation.
Judaism.
This flag
Judaism is the
represents
world's
our beloved
oldest
nation.
monotheistic
This
religion,
flag
dating
represents
back
our
nearly
beloved nation.
4,000 years.
This flag
We all know
represents our
today
beloved
is the
nation.
28th of
This
January
flag
2021.
represents our beloved nation.
But in the Jewish
This
calendar,
flag
it is the
represents our beloved
15th
nation.
of the month of
This
Shevat,
flag
and the
represents
year
our
is
beloved nation.
5000.
Our
Very, very
beloved nation.
important. These are the 5
This
books written
flag
by
represents
Moses.
our beloved nation.
Example,
This flag represents our
Genesis,
beloved nation.
Exodus,
Flag represents our beloved
Leviticus,
nation. This flag
Numbers,
represents our beloved
and
nation.
Deuteronomy.
This flag
These
represents our
include
beloved nation.
very, very important. Let us now continue with the Jewish holy books, and now we are going to talk about Talmud, that is the practical book. While Tanakh, which includes the Torah, is considered the sacred text of Judaism, many other important manuscripts were composed in later years. These offered insights into how the Tanakh should be interpreted and documented oral laws that were previously not written down. One good example is Talmud. Talmud is written in Aramaic language, and it comprises of rabbinic conversations that is studied. It contains teachings which interpret and expand Torah law to make it relevant in the daily life. The laws of kashrut, also referred as the Jewish dietary laws, are the basis for the kosher observance. These rules were set forth in the Torah and explained in the Talmud. The Hebrew word kasheru literally means fit, and the kosher laws concern themselves with which foods are considered fit to eat. Talmud is certainly the authority body of Jewish traditions, and Talmud talks about its observance in the practical life. Let us now talk about views expressed in Talmud, views on leaders or kings at that time. They are leaders now. Are leaders born or made? Central to this response is the biblical understanding that men and women are created in the image of God. Because men and women are created in His image, they possess the communicable attributes of God, and that these attributes are the true source of leadership. Leaders are neither born nor made. Leaders are created. Because we are created equally in His image, we are all leaders. As such, each of us has the responsibility to bear God's image, that is, to reclaim the long lost image of God and apply the attributes given to us by Him into every arena of life. God will judge both governors and citizens, both governors and the subjects of their reign for how they carry themselves. God holds human beings accountable for their actions. He will judge kings, that is leaders now, for how they govern. He will judge their subjects or citizens for how they respond to the government. This is important. We in Judaism talk about the Judgment Day. Hindus talk about Chitragupt, who keeps account of good deeds and sins, and at the gates of heaven the soul is requested or told what good deeds or sins he or she has made. Famous Jewish quotes. Jewish voices have a long history of demanding justice for the poor and oppressed. Hate evil and love good, and establish justice in the gate. Let justice well up like water, righteousness like an unfailing stream. This is by the prophet Amos. The Talmud and the other traditional rabbinic texts also remind us that we have an obligation to speak up when we see injustice in the community. At a time when the community is suffering, no one should say, I'll go home, eat, drink, and be at peace with myself. We should protest against the wrong in society. Naturally, we are talking about the society in general and also our country. Many of us must have watched the Hollywood movie of 1956, The Ten Commandments. There is a lovely movie which is made even afterwards, and importance of Ten Commandments today are known to all. The Ten Commandments influence life today in that they are important aspects of today's legal and political systems because they serve as indications of how people should behave to maintain harmonious relationships in society. Quotes from Talmud: join the company of lions rather than assume the lead among foxes. It is better to be an equal among lions, means moral people, than be a leader of foxes, that is wicked and cunning. To break an oral agreement which is not legally binding is morally wrong. Keep your word, that is important. Loving kindness is greater than laws, and the charities of life are more than all ceremonies. No use celebrating when you yourself are not kind and not charitable. Who is wise? One who learns from all. That means we should not repeat the mistakes of others and ourselves, and also learn whatever is good in others.
Now we'll talk about Jews and India. The history of Jews in India reaches back to ancient time. Judaism was one of the first foreign religions to arrive in India in recorded history. Indian Jews are a religious minority in India, but unlike many parts of the world, have historically lived in India without any instances of anti-Semitism from local majority population. The better established ancient communities have assimilated many local traditions through cultural diffusion. While some Jews state their ancestors arrived in India during the time of the kingdom of Judah, others identify themselves descendants of Israel's 10 lost tribes. It is estimated that India's Jewish population peaked at around 40,000 in the mid 1940 and began to rapidly decline due to immigration to Israel after its creation in 1948. There are about 10,000 odd Jews all over India, including 3,000 Marathi speaking Bene Israelis in Maharashtra and other regions. Many Bene Israelis traveled to Pakistan before independence and settled in Karachi and Rawalpindi and other small places, but they migrated back to either India or Israel of the creation of India and Pakistan. Have a look at the Indian map of Jews population. In the state of Gujarat in the west, there were Ahmedabad, Rajkot and Surat where Jews resided. Ahmedabad has now dwindling Beni Israeli population with a synagogue of their own, three big schools run by Jewish families. Rajkot and Surat have no Jewish population worth mentioning. In Maharashtra, Mumbai, Konkan region and Pune have a number of synagogues, but many have migrated abroad. Goa has presently no Jewish population. Kochi had a big population once upon a time, and there were 12 synagogues. Only two are functioning now and on the verge of closure. Chennai has now very few Jews. Kanyakumari, no record of Jews now. Andhra Pradesh Jews stay mainly in Guntur district. Kolkata has very few families left out in India. Manipur and Mizoram also boast of Jewish people. Names of the Jewish group in India, approximate time of their arrival in this country, and places where they first settled can be seen in this tabular form. Where no authentic dates are available, no dates are mentioned. As you can see, Kerala has three different periods of Jews entry in India. Jews from Manipur and Mizoram are known as children of Manasa.
Many Jews of India have contributed a lot to the community and India at large. The first name comes to us is Sassoon family, Sir David Sassoon and his family. They funded building of Gateway of India. They gave large funds for Flora Fountain and Kala Ghoda. They donated land for Jijamata Udyan. It was known as Rani Bagh. They built two synagogues in Mumbai, in Fort area and in Baikala, and one in Pune, known as Red Synagogue or Lal Deval. Bank of India 1906 was funded mainly by the Sassoon family, and one of them was the director of the bank till his death. They played a significant role in development or Mechanics Institute, that is the adult technical education, and also many schools. David Sassoon Library is the oldest in Mumbai from the year 1870. It is opposite to Jahangir Art Gallery. Sassoon Docks in Kolaba and 85% of textile mills gave employment to many people in and around Mumbai. Many hospitals were built by the family. Sassoon Hospital in Pune and part of JJ Hospital are an example of that. David Sassoon Industrial and Reformatory Institute, David Sassoon Elderly and Destitute Person Homes and Infirm Asylum in Mumbai, Kolkata and Pune. They are just a few examples. Many of you must be familiar with Nivara. This is David Sassoon Old Age Home situated in Navi Peth and Sadashivpet, Pune. He was the big contributor for building this in 1863. This was the first old age home in Pune. General J.F.R. Jacob was 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War hero. He fought India-Pakistan War in 1965 at a very senior level. He was a governor of Goa and Punjab. Dr. E. Moses, that is Eliza Moses Rajpurkar, was a medical practitioner, devoted volunteer during plague of 1920. He was elected mayor of Bombay, Mumbai in 1937. Dr. Abraham Solomon Erulkar was a personal doctor of Mahatma Gandhiji. He was a president of Medical Council of India in 1940. Dr. Jerusha Girard was conferred member of British Empire. She received Padma Shri in 1966. She served as the president of Gynecological and Obstetrics Society and toiled hard to advance the cause of women doctors. In the fields of art and literature, Jews' contribution is exemplary. Nissim Ezekiel was an eminent English writer, dramatist, critic, broadcaster, and a social commentator. He received Padma Shri in 1988 and Sahitya Academy Cultural Award in 1983. Dr. Esther Solomon, she received Padma Shri Award in 1992 and Vachaspati Puraskar Award for her life's work. She also received Presidential Certificate of Honor for outstanding contribution to Sanskrit in 1983. Esther David is an author, artist and sculptor. She received Sahitya Academy Award for English. Contribution of Indian Jews in cinema. Nadira, her real name was Florence Ezekiel, was a Bollywood actress and Filmfare awardee. Mud Mud Ke Na Dekh Mud Mud Ke, if you remember the song of Sri Chasobis. Pramila, Esther Victoria Abraham, she was the first Miss India in 1947. She was an Indian model and actress. One notable thing, she was the first woman film producer of Hindi films. Ruby Myers Sulochana, Indian actress in 1920s. We are talking about silent films era. She got Dada Saheb Phalke Award in 1973. Ramola Devi, Rachel Cohen, an actress from 1937 to 1951. David Abraham Cheulkar, famous character actor. If you remember the song, Nanne Munne Bacche Teri Mutti Mein Kya Hai? He received Padma Shri in 1969. Even Nehruji always admired him considerably. Lala Lajpat Rai said, "During my residence abroad, I have learned to respect the Hebrew community and the valuable service they have rendered to the cause of culture and humanity. The Hebrew community has produced some of the greatest writers and thinkers of the world." Lajpat Rai not only reaffirmed his support for Jews, but also noted the many achievements and initiatives they had started to help all individuals irrespective of their religious background. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. On 17th September 1950, India officially recognized the State of Israel. Following India's recognition of Israel, Indian Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru stated, "We would have recognized Israel long ago because Israel is a fact.
Now, some interesting facts about synagogues in the world. The oldest known worship places were Solomon's temples. Oldest known synagogue in India was at Kodunglar, that was in 4th century. 4th century, I repeat, 4th century. This is a place about 45 kilometers north of Kochi. Al Ghariba synagogue in Tunisia was built in 16th century and is a big pilgrimage center because a lot of building material used from demolished Solomon temples. Synagogue at Prague shared its boundary with concentration camp during World War II. Some more facts. The largest synagogue in the world with a sitting capacity of 10,000 is in Jerusalem. Matancherry Synagogue, still active, is at Kochi, India. On its 400th anniversary in 1968, the then PM Mrs. Indira Gandhi attended the prayer services. The very first US synagogue was built in 1763.
This is the Ohel David Synagogue in Pune, popularly known as Lal Devil. Photo of Sassoon Hospital in 1860. It does look different now, isn't it? Heritage building of David Sassoon Library, Mumbai. How beautiful it looks. Mazgaon Dock, Mumbai. Mazgaon Dock, Mumbai. The beautiful interiors of Calcutta Synagogue. The beautiful interiors of Calcutta Synagogue. Very old Kochi Synagogue.